half-day shoot, pre-production, and editing. Guess how much? You probably guessed wrong because it was... So I get hundreds of questions asking me how much I charge as a filmmaker, and it's really hard for me to give you a direct answer. The only real way to know how much you should charge is by firstly knowing your skill level, and secondly knowing how much people with your skill level can charge. But that differs because some companies are willing to pay more money for a good video and others don't have the budget for it. So to give you some idea, I dug up my old invoices from about March 2019 to March 2020. Prior to March, I was making money with my camera and I was doing a lot of free work at the same time, but only in March did I start doing invoices and taking it a bit more professionally. Another note that I need to make is that between March and July, I was still at university doing my master's in mechanical engineering. I had exams to do, a dissertation, and I was building a car as part of the Formula Student project with some other engineers. And looking back at these invoices, I charged almost nothing for what I was doing. This will be quite fun to do and quite interesting, I think. So let's just get on it. I'm gonna keep the names of the companies anonymous, but I'll let you know a little bit as to what the work actually entailed. So March, that was an invoice for £180, which is not too bad. It's good pocket change to have whilst you're at university. Just video editing. It was for a video approximately of 1 minute with a couple of revisions. I added an extra £30 for a third review of the video, which is good. I'm really proud of myself because at that point I realized it's very important to let your clients know how much you're going to charge for extra revisions. I typically give a couple of revisions for free so that we can get to their idea, but any more revisions to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, you make sure that you charge. March 29th, half day of filming a video and a lunch reimbursement, and I charged £156. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think it took me like a day to edit because it was 4 videos. Oh my god, actually no, that's actually really bad. It's 4 videos and a filming day, and I had an extra revision, and I only charged £156. That's mad. That's not a lot. I'm glad things have changed. So in March of 2019, we made a total of £336. It was a lot of work, but it's a decent amount of pocket money. April of 2019, an invoice for £170, and that is for a full day shoot and a 1 video edit. £170. Oh my god,
that's crazy.
I have another one for April 27th, and that was a half day shoot and 5 videos for £150. Oh my god, you can see the inconsistency here. Like,
that was crazy.
So for the total month of April, I made £320. May 2019, and I only have 1 invoice because in May and June I had all of my exams, but I have 1 video which is £120, which is a full day shoot and producing, I don't say how many videos I produced here, but I remember it was a lot of videos. It was like 5 videos and I made them in different formats, and it was only £120. Oh my god, what was I thinking? So for May we only made £120. The other thing as well that I forgot to mention is that I was going to London to do most of these shoots, and I was studying at the University of Sussex, which is in Brighton. A 1.5-hour trip to do these shoots. Quite the hustle.
I am fired up right now.
So June, I actually went to a farm to film. This was £183 and 10 pence, and that was a full day of shooting and a kind of like a 3-minute edit, I think it was. So it's a bit more than my other videos, but it was actually a lot more work. June 2018, editing a live stream video for internal use, and that was £97.50. So it was just the edit, but I do remember it was a long video. It was like a 30-minute video. The editing videos were good because I could do those when I'd come back from studying. Okay, we've got another invoice for £320, June 29th, and this is for only doing 2 videos. And I remember these were half-day shoots, and it took me about a half day to edit because they were very short videos. And in June, we made a whopping £600 and 60 pence. It was actually really good. July 7th, half-day shoot, pre-production, and editing. Guess how much? You probably guessed wrong because it was £95 for all of that. It's kind of inconsistent. Like, sometimes I'm charging a lot for very little, and sometimes I'm charging very little for a lot. July 15th, a whopping £372.50. Yo, post-production Camilo here. I didn't mention this in the original video, but this invoice is a combination of 2 different projects. So it's 2 filming days and 2 edits, but I charged 1 edit £10 less because it wasn't as long as the other one. So yeah, back to the video. July 15th, a half day shoot, £45. It's quite little, job, and I think I actually didn't make any money because I had to pay to go to London. So yeah. And July 30th, a photography shoot of 4 hours with touch-ups and Photoshop editing, £200. And that was probably the first professional photography shoot I have ever done. But it's not bad, £200 for like a half day of shooting. These were kind of like headshots for a website. And that's the end of July. For July, we made a whopping £712.50. And this was July, so I was wrapping up the Formula Student project. So it was like a nice balance. And I think towards the end of July, I came back home to London with my parents. I hadn't started working yet, so I just had a lot of free time to just do these kind of shoots, which is really cool. I remember that. Good times. August 1st, 2019, £270 for 2 half-day shoots and the editing. So that's not too bad. My rates went up August 9th, 2019, and I only charged £189. So it's a weird number, but I got the Uber to be expensed. And this was actually for like a 2 to 3 minute video, almost like a mini documentary that actually did very well on the client side. So I think they probably made more money than I did making the actual video, but such is life. August 14th, this was just a video edit and £85, and there was like a 10-minute edit, so still not a lot, but we were hustling. August 12th, £150 for a half-day shoot, 2 videos with some additional photography. I knew that I charged very little because when I said my rates, they were like,
oh, that's great, perfect.
And someone once told me that if the client agrees on a number that you give up front very quickly, it means that you charged way too little. August 13th, so this was like a product video shoot, and it's only £55. We have a half-day shoot, £45. Half-day shoot, what? I think this was a client that I really wanted to get a lot of work from. Thought that if I charged little now, they would charge me more later down the line, but that wasn't the case. August 31st, £250. And you know what this was for? Oh my god, this was for 7 revisions of one of the prior videos that I did. 7 revisions that I charged at 20 hours a revision rate. I actually made more from the revisions that I did from the actual shoot and edit. So it can actually make you a lot of money if you take into account how much a revision will cost. And the next invoice for August is an incredible £1,000 for a documentary. This was probably the first time that I felt that I was being paid my worth, because I knew how much it would take me to edit. I knew how much I was charging for doing day shoots, and I kind of put it all together and put a lot of thought into my pricing. And so yeah, like £1,000. And so in August, we made a total of £2,044. In September was when I started my full-time job as a fire engineer. So that was a good way to end that month. So the 4th of September 2019, £280 for, oh my god, this is a lot. A half-day shoot, 2 half-day shoots. Oh, this is a joke, this is a joke. 4 half-day shoots and editing for £280. That's a joke. Like, I knew the shoots were short. I just go and set up my camera, but that's my time. Like,
that's crazy.
Next invoice is £200, and this was for a half-day shoot and edit. And I actually remember this one. I got home, downloaded everything, I had a cup of coffee, I edited everything in 4 hours, sound effects, transitions, everything, and I sent it to them, and the client was like,
this is sick.
And just like that, I got paid. That was the quickest £200 I've ever made in my entire life. And that's it for September. And in September of 2019, we made a total of only £480, which is less than what we made the month before. But at this point, I also had a full-time job, so gotta take that into account. October, half-day shoot, £45. So this is with the same client that I said earlier that I was hoping to get more work from. 6th of October, £100, and these are just for edits at £50 an edit. And these were like 2-3 minute edits, so very little for the amount of editing time. And back then I wasn't as fast. It would take me a day to edit it. 17th of October, a club shoot and £130, which is all right. Like, I did have to stay up pretty late, but it was a fun one to do and I really enjoyed it. £50 for another one of these edits, £50 for another edit, £50 for another edit. So that brings us to a total of $425 for the month of October 2019. So now we're in November, and the first invoice is £50 for an edit, £500 for another documentary that I was doing, and this was good price because I knew it was gonna take a lot of work to do this documentary. So £500, which is good. £50 for another edit, £40 for a product video shoot for one of my friends, £50 for a quick interview edit. What is happening? This just doesn't make any sense. That brings November to £690, which is pretty good, and I think it's because of the documentary. So we're going to December now, and December only has £60 for a video edit. Yeah, that's it. Now we're in January 2020, the magical year where a lot of bad things happen. But I think we started off the year quite decently, because in January 2020, 2020, we have £37.50 for some revisions to an edit that I had to do. We have £20 for an edit and £400 for a event shoot and edit, which was pretty good because I put a lot of effort into it. It's a lot of gimbal work actually, and £50 for another edit. That makes our January total £557.50, which is pretty good for a January start. February, I have £1,837, but this invoice was for a big music video, so actually I had to pay a lot of the second shooters and some of the production team. So I think the take home that I got for that was actually £500, not 1,800. And now we go into March 2020. In March was when I actually started doing some consulting. So I made £31.25 for 1 hour of consulting and £150 for a promo video, and that's pretty much it. I only made £181.25, and that's because from March was when the pandemic hit in the UK. Coincidentally, that wraps up March 2019 to March 2020. So for that year, that first real year of me doing videography work where I was really just experimenting and learning a lot, I made a total of £6,575.60, which is this much in dollars. Now, that might not be a lot, and I think the reason is because I was doing a lot of videos that were done very cheaply, but they helped me a lot when it came to learning and understanding my worth, understanding how much I should be charging. I think when you're starting off, it'll be good to research how much a typical videographer makes. You can use some of the numbers that I used here. Just throw it out there. As long as you're getting paid something for what you're doing, that's pretty much the place you want to start. And then later down the line, you can start charging more, upselling, because your skill level will increase with it. One of the biggest takeaways is to make sure to charge for revisions, to always look back as to how much you're actually charging. If I were to look back at what I was charging and how much it actually took me to make these videos, I would have not charged that little for some of the videos that I was doing. That being said, if you enjoyed that video and want me to do a part 2 from 2020 to 2021, let me know. I'll happily do it. I really enjoy making this one. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll see you in the next video.